Hey, Bookworms of Concord. So last year I read Moby-Dick by Herman Melville, and I want to, in this video, help answer a question. Should you read Moby-Dick? I mean, look how thick it is. The short answer, that depends on you. For the longer answer, let's first harpoon some common misconceptions. See what I did there? Moby-Dick is not about, first of all, the homoeroticism between Ishmael and Queequeg, which a lot of liberally minded readers say, and neither is Queequeg's cannibalism a metaphor for homosexuality. Yes, a lot of essays have said that. I've read them. It's really an immature interpretation that's indicative of both historical and cultural ignorance. Because one, they never performed sodomy. Two, Ishmael speaks of his friend's cannibalism literally. Queequeg's tribe barbecued their enemies, which in this edition is on pages 118 through 119, and Ishmael even makes a joke about it on page 190. And three, Melville dedicated this book. It's in the front, I think. But anyway, he dedicated the book to Nathaniel Hawthorne, who, if you don't know, they admired each other's works a lot, and they had an extremely close friendship. So the friendship between Ishmael and Queequeg is actually, in my opinion, representative of the masculine friendship shared between Melville and Hawthorne, which was not homoerotic. And if you've read the book Resident Aliens by Hauerwas and Willimon, they interpret Moby Dick, the whale, as an allegory for God. And there's other interpretations that the whale is an allegory for whiteness, for the white man's oppression, considering the time it was published in 1851, which I at first was prone to myself. Not the allegory for God. I think that's completely ridiculous, but I was thinking that it might have been an allegory for whiteness. But instead, I ended up coming to the uncommon interpretation, and perhaps I'm alone in this, that there is no allegory. My reasoning is because this is actually Ishmael's view, the protagonist, his opinion that it's ignorant landmen who view Moby Dick as an allegory, which he finds detestable. In this edition, that's on page 249. Instead, it's just a story. Moby Dick is just a story. It's a story of a man gone mad, Captain Ahab, as he seeks vengeance upon the enigmatic Leviathan, Moby Dick. That's all it's about. It's just a story of a whale. So finally, with those out of the way, Moby Dick, the book, is a whale in and of itself. As you can see, again, very, very thick, and with the words on the page, we'll slow down the pace even more. There are narrative moments that I found really good, but most of it reads like an encyclopedia on whales, which many of you will find pallid and monotonous, especially if you lack, an appreciation for detail. Those encyclopedic parts were hard for me to get through at times. There were parts of it that I enjoyed, but it was still, what made it really hard to get through was that it was just like one encyclopedic like chapter after another. There was hardly any actual narrative stuff happening. So with that, because of that, and as I was reading it, I have suspicions that Melville was a fellow autistic person whose special interest was whales. So yeah, with all that in mind, again, it's up to you. Should you? Yes, maybe no. It's a classic for a reason. I definitely would not recommend this to everybody. Or it's the book. It's obviously dreadfully long, and Ishmael has a habit of, like I was saying, droning on and on, as well as some character dialogues that just I often forgot like what they were even talking about, and that it to the point that it didn't even make any sense. Oftentimes, however, these parts were worth waiting through because of unexpected humor. Like, I did not expect to actually literally laugh out loud while reading this. That happened several times. But still, like, if you read this, I think many of you might find yourself akin to Captain Ahab, unable to conquer the Leviathan that is Moby-Dick, while possibly being driven to madness. So you might DNF it. So yeah, should you read this? I don't know. I can't say yes. I can't say no. I gave this 2 stars out of 5, only 2, but I'm still glad I read it. I, suffered my way through it. I enjoyed it a little bit. Just, yeah, most of my critiques that bring it down to the 2 stars is because of just the droning of the dialogues that ended up not making sense at times, and the encyclopedic parts that should have been, I guess, more wisely spaced throughout the book instead of just one chapter after another. But yeah, this might be like your Moby-Dick for some of you if you start this. So yeah, should you read it? That's up to you. Okay, bye.